he wouldn't let me punch it.
Hello, people.
Even
I've
if
come
he
to
had
you
his hand in a
at a
boxing
very
glove himself.
serious time in human history.
So I had to buy proper
It is the end of
sparring
days,
pads so I could,
and I hope
so
you're
I could
all
punch his hand.
prepared.
And he reckons
Coronavirus
a fighter,
is going to
he
take
wouldn't
us
even
all
let me
out,
punch his
and I
hand
hope
as-
you are prepared
like
with toilet
I just said,
paper,
put a boxing glove inside out.
baked beans,
Just hold it.
rice,
'Cause,
and
yeah, I did used to spar or do that with my old
washing
trainer in
powder,
Motor, but that's the only time I did
because you have to live in
it.
fear,
Yeah, this is like
folks,
my pads.
because this is very serious, and
Yeah, I
coronavirus
haven't
could
done
get
that
you at any
since I was
time,
like 16.
and
I've done karate when I was 18,
should
but
give
only for like
your
less than a
power
year.
over to the
Yeah,
all-knowing,
I don't consider myself a karate person. I only
all-caring
went up to,
government
I think it was
who's got nothing
orange
but your
belt, which is
best
like
interests
white,
at
yellow,
heart.
orange.
Give your
And
power
I
up to
failed
them.
at least
Fear,
two,
that is what they want.
at least twice.
This
with a
is
kata
out of
for-
hand, people.
For an
But
orange belt.
Since
I
it's
just
the end of
forgot it.
times, like
And I
John
didn't,
in Revelations has preached,
yeah,
let's
karate did
all
have me
have a
blocked.
bit of fun.
Remember, some people tried
I
to punch me,
I'm willing
and I
to
just
talk
naturally just blocked like
about
that, right?
anything and everything,
But yeah, you have
especially
to do
since
boxing
we are
to
living our
really-
last times.
to really,
I really hoped I'd make it to
become a fighter,
120,
that's true.
but now this
Yeah,
coronavirus,
Karate,
ooh,
maybe if
could
karate
get me
will
at any time.
let you
And I
actually
think
punch people, but
that relationship
put it on
should
vent for a
end,
bit.
because with relationships,
Oh,
they
I
are
think that's
overdoing
live.
the social distance of 2 meters.
There you go.
So I think the
James, live on
chances
YouTube.
of you catching coronavirus increase if you are in a relationship. So we must cease all relationships, no matter what they are. I don't care how much you love them. They are overdoing the social distance of 2 meters, and you are at risk. No more kissing, that's gone. No, no, no. No more sex, no, 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 no. You must keep your social distance of 2 meters. And hey, as I said, stock up on your toilet paper, because the trees are endless and can supply us with toilet paper. And if you don't, we'll go back to the ancient Roman days where we use corn husks in vinegar, and we don't want to go back there, do we? And what else should
And
we stock
actually,
on?
if you really care about yourself and your friends' lives and your family's lives, be selfish, man. If you can, stock up, look after yourself.
That's
Don't
right.
worry about leaving
You're
something
first.
for everyone. You know?
You come first. You come
If it
first
gets
before
really
anybody
bad,
else.
it'll be the people with guns and ammunition
That's right.
They'll be the ones that survive.
That's right. You listen to my friend here. He's all knowing. He's all clued in.
There's a group on Facebook called Doomsday Preppers. I mean,
I guess you join them.
On. Yeah, they're full on.
In
like,
fact, people,
I
to
don't
avoid
think
it
you'll need
altogether,
that, but
I think you should go into total isolation.
we don't
Pick
have
a
guns,
spot
so
where there is no
we're
other
fucked
person,
if it gets that
no
bad.
other person around that you can possibly catch this coronavirus from, and go there. Better still, go to the your chemist and raid them all for their drugs. Just take anything just in case to wipe out this coronavirus. It is deadly, people.
Man, that's a pretty cool Instagram post.
So I believe, is anyone here
Australia's
wants to talk to about it?
Instagram UFC fighter.
Let's forget about everything else. We're closing non-essential services, but hospitals being essential services, now they're germy places. We should close them down. No one's allowed to go to hospital. You just die in your own place, people. Die there. And I hope you have got funeral insurance, because you don't want to leave it to your loved ones to be able to afford to bury you. Actually, no burials, it's cremations. We will have to cremate. But hey, let's save expense and just throw bodies all together on one pile and burn it all together. And let's go to these labs like where the CDC has, and
in my mind,
let's play with more viruses. So coronavirus has competition.
They were proving to me
Coronavirus,
I can do it.
that's a common cold, people. Why are we overreacting? Anyway, I have a really serious situation going on. My beloved husband, I will be turning off his life support on Wednesday, and all around me I see this madness go on. Madness. Anyway, parasites, pathogens, they all have to live too, so why not give them a host? But I'm a believer, if you manifest something, you will catch it. But why, if this coronavirus is just like having a bit of a cold, why are we going overboard with this? Okay, it is killing older people, but I have a belief about that being a conspiracy theorist, and that is old people can no longer contribute to the workforce, they're no longer valuable, and so what better way for the government to get rid of them by this virus? And things that you shouldn't know. The hospital where my husband is told me, a senior doctor told me, that every person that has been on a ventilator with coronavirus has died. Then a few days later, our state health minister gets on and tells how many people have got coronavirus and said there's 7 people who are on ventilators. So I laughed and said, well, they're all dead. More people die of the flu. I'll give you something to be scared of. There's people who are born, say, 1980s, mid-70s there, weren't vaccinated against smallpox because they believed they had cured smallpox. So if smallpox ever came again, people of that age group are screwed. And yet the big powers, superpowers, have underground that's full of smallpox. Full of it. Now, what if war broke out again? What better way to wipe people out is through germ warfare. Just a couple of germs, it spreads. And it's really weird how this coronavirus was present in this particular animal that's a bit like our Australian spiny anteater. And the Chinese were using the quills of this animal in ancient medicine, and suddenly it mutates. Okay, really? Yeah. Anyway, I believe that the world is overpopulated, so it's either war or it's germs or it's natural selection. I'm not scared of getting coronavirus, and I'm pretty close to this age group that is suffering. My husband is dying and has suffered severe brain damage from oxygen deprivation from 9 minutes of CPR for his first cardiac arrest, and around me the world is going mad. Our shops, our shopping centres, our supermarkets came in today that only a certain amount of people are allowed in the shop at once. Oh, this is gone ridiculous. My own doctor, a couple of weeks ago, you can't see him anymore. You can't see him face to face. In fact, he rings you, makes a phone call. Doctors are scared of this. So like I said, what are they not telling us? Is this a thing that is like a fear thing, so we can give power and form like a one world government. Countries are going to collapse over this. It's not going to end in a few weeks. It takes months. My daughter was talking about this last November when it was in China. Now, the state that we live in has stopped anyone else from any other state coming in. You say you can't fly in, you can't. What if I want to go see someone in England? And the people here, most people here who caught it, who've died, were on a cruise ship. It does my head in. I went down using a private bus company to Brisbane today, and I asked him about bookings, and he said I was the last one for the week, and there were only 2 of us on the bus. And I said, how many services do you run? So this is getting people to their appointments, different hospitals, because where I live, we don't specialise, so we need these essential services. And he said to me that he runs up to 3 services a day, and now everything is just... I'm on a disability support pension, and because there's now so many people unemployed, the government has just given people on unemployment a raise, so they're actually getting more money than people on disability. Well, I wish I could work, because I've got a lot of degrees and everything, and I would be a lot richer than what I am now with my pieces of paper. But as I said, trying to put this in perspective, I have to apply for funeral assistance because my husband's left a big mess, and now at funerals you're only allowed 10 people. Well, there wouldn't be more than that would come to my poor husband's funeral anyway. And at a wedding, I heard you're only allowed 5 people. This is just out of proportion. Look how many people died from the Spanish flu after World War I ended. I just don't know what to say. Is there anyone actually in here? Anyway, let's talk a bit more about coronavirus. The whole is a coronavirus. All mammals get coronaviruses. Dolphins, dogs, cats. But apparently this particular one, we have never, as humans, experienced before. Well, the other reason that pathogens get out of control and out of hand is because we don't take our medication right. And not only that, there hasn't been any new antibiotics for over 20 years. And a lot of bacteria are becoming resistant to the antibiotics. And we get prescribed antibiotics when we don't need it. We take antibiotics not properly, we think we're better, so we stop it. So we haven't got rid of all the bugs, so yeah, they mutate. But I put it to you that the coronavirus was helped along in its mutation, and it's very weird. I've been told, that China where it started, Ground Zero was a live market, very dirty conditions. But that won't mutate a virus. They've been like that for hundreds of years. They've done the same thing. So suddenly mutates doesn't make sense to me. And I've talked to some of my friends overseas, like in England, who are in lockdown. We're not exactly in lockdown, but as I said, non-essential services are shut down. This social distancing. I went to vote the other week, and instead of like 500 people there was only 5 people there. I thought about getting out of it and saying, I got scared by the coronavirus. That's what they want you. They want you scared. Love the negativity. And all I live on, I don't like the milk, the cream milk. I buy long life normally. And now to be told that I can only get to 1 litres at a time. I haven't got petrol to run to the supermarket every day. Not only that, the greedy supermarkets, I used to pay, before this coronavirus, I was paying $1.01 perhaps for a litre of home brand milk. It's now up to $1.25. My bills were, for 2 weeks, were over $100. And yesterday I bought groceries and I didn't buy them for 2 weeks, only for a few days, and it was over $100. Yes. Oh, it's gone really, really ridiculous. My husband, the very combination medication that saved his life in February has caused him to have a cardiac arrest, and then on top of it, he got sick and he caught a flu. But any type of infection, whether we have symptoms or not, will kill him. And I wondered when I went to visit him in ICU why I wasn't being scrubbed or a mask or anything like that, because these patients are definitely ill. They could die at any time, so they don't need an infection. And I was told it was not to protect me from them, but to protect, they weren't there to protect them from me, that it's more to protect me from catching something that they have. And I wonder what's going to happen with prisons. Are they all on lockdown because of this? Hey, this is... Yeah, countries are seriously going to collapse over this. I even fear for Australia, but I've been told that we're pretty strong, that we are going to suffer too, because the billions of dollars that would have been forced into welfare to pay for these poor unemployed people. And talking about supermarkets putting up prices, do you think I've got a pay rise to cover this cost? No.
Yeah, and then there was, after that, I tried grabbing my hands and I pushed them and kneed them. That was a cheat. Space to just...
Now, I'll talk about things that I'm scared of. I'm scared of going to Central Africa and catching Ebola or Marburg or one of the 4 Filio viruses. Could you imagine a worldwide epidemic of Ebola? It's a nasty, nasty disease with something like 80% mortality. For example, coronavirus in Australia has only got 0.05. And I think we've got perhaps 16 million. So that's not really that many.
And then when he was down on the ground, I was kind of thought...
and as I said, there's more people. infected worldwide from different types of mosquito viruses. More people infected around the world from sexually transmitted diseases like AIDS. A lot of people with hepatitis C. These are horrible sicknesses. That's why I said, what's the government not telling us? We've had, throughout the years, different strains of flus come through. None of this kind of stuff. SARS didn't attract this kind of stuff. Bird flu didn't attract this kind of stuff. And many years ago, a horrible gastro bug went through Australia and was actually killing old people in nursing homes, and I caught it. And I've never been so sick in all my life. The amount of times I vomited during the day, he just felt so unwell. And like every half an hour I was worshipping that toilet god. And diarrhea, and it was horrible. I'd rather have a little bit of a cold. So what do we get from coronavirus? Fever, fatigue, a cough.
Basically, he said he didn't really care why I punched him. What happened?
Well,
I told him about the fight.
If it's airborne,
I fully admitted it.
2 meters isn't going to be far enough, is it?
Yeah, so then he drew.
True.
And I just one more. And I was like,
Gympie, where I live, is gone. Silly. It's been silly for weeks. And
getting a glimpse in his eye, and it was just.
I just wondered, the whole world's gone mad. And here I have to deal with somebody dying, and it's just so surreal to me. I've kept a journal about what's happening with Rob, and many years later, in my old age, when I get dementia, I can look back at this and remember the coronavirus. I want to go down in history, the coronavirus.
Yeah, he made it so it was way worse. It wasn't just wasting my wife.
I heard that there is a cure for it. So why isn't this being used? They're worried about side effects. Well, apparently they've used it on AIDS patients for many years. They know what the side effects are. By talking about this, I'm giving in to everybody else's crap, and I'm over it. I'm over not being able to get things done because of stupid coronavirus. Yeah. So, thank you for watching. I thought I'd be a bit more popular than this. Look at my beauty. Ha ha ha. Lighten up, people. Ha ha. And I'd be watched more, but obviously, yeah, well, I'm over coronavirus too. Who wants to watch this more shit about coronavirus? Next time, I promise I'll sing. But as I said, I'm going through a really sad time in my life, and there's times that I've just cried and lost it, and there are times I'm just so exhausted. My skin is a mess. Pimples, cirrhosis, bags under my eyes. I know so many people around here who know what's happened, and they're still injecting drugs. And there's one particular girl I know who apparently had pericarditis when she was 17, and she's hardcore into drugs. And recently she was told she had to have an operation on her arms. still injecting.
Far better than I expected.
And the reason why her arms were screwed up is because
I was just thinking, honestly,
fentanyl had pulled
I thought, because I've never seen
into
it
it.
myself before. That's why
I understand the reason for
for
taking drugs to escape reality, because you've got an addictive personality, because you were born addicted, because you tried it and you liked it and now you're hooked. I understand all this. But to put your loved one through this really, really, really hurts. And my daughter, who works with patients like this, said her last patient who died was only 25 and he'd been clean and he'd left behind a 6-year-old daughter. They don't tell you that these things when you start experimenting with drugs. They only warn you about overdose and addiction, but they don't tell you about that your organs age, that your heart gets infected, and then the next place they love is your lungs, then the next place is your brain. But in my moment of grief, I've heard so many stories. Someone shared on Facebook that they'd lost a loved one to an overdose, and my house worker shared that a couple of years ago she lost her brother to an overdose. And there were times I thought I lost my partner to an overdose. And there's times like now that I wish I overdosed so I don't have to go on. And, you know, when this happens, it's too late for everything. It's too late to be sorry. It's too late to say, oh, I really do love you now, please, please. Especially when their brain is so badly damaged, they're not even aware you're there. And you love them that much. You think, I can't keep you in a vegetable state. I can't keep you. So you're so disabled that you need constant medical attention. And you want to hold on. You want to hold on. But I believe that in that 9 minutes it took for CPR, that he had died. And when you die, your soul leaves your body. And so when they tried to bring him back, he's got part of the way in, but he can't get the rest of the way in. He's not there anymore, so he's trapped. So I have to let him go so his soul can be free. And I told him I loved him, and his eyes are looking around, but he doesn't see me. Anyway, that'll all do for now. Thank you for watching.
For 9 months or something. But yeah, once. And no one knew about it. I literally didn't have